Hi, welcome back to this Free for All Friday edition of Focal Point, AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Great to have you in the conversation today. Glad to talk about anything that's on your mind, anything we've talked about that's been in the news this week. Glad to have you weigh in on that topic and on that subject. Now, 888-589-8840 is the number to call, 888-589-8840. Particularly interested in if you're willing to have the government shut down to defund Obamacare. As I mentioned, Representative Tom Graves has prepared, he's co-authored a House Joint Resolution, it's number 62, that would fund all of government except for Obamacare. There's not one single solitary penny in Tom Graves' bill that would go to fund any part of Obamacare. Mandatory spending, cut off. Discretionary spending, cut off. It brings Obamacare to a dead, screeching stop, halts it right in its tracks starting October 1. That's when it would start, because this continuing resolution has got to be passed by September 30th. So we can stop Obamacare in its tracks in 3 weeks. October 1st, that whole thing can be shut down. The train stopped in its tracks. Do you want that to happen, even if it means a shutdown of the government? So 888-589-8840, the number to call if you want to weigh in on that. And I just want to give you a heads up. American Family Association, we are preparing an action alert to go out on early Monday morning, because that's when Congress comes back, urging you to contact your congressman and urge them to become a co-sponsor of this bill, not just to support it, not just to vote for it if it gets to the floor, but to become a co-sponsor of this bill. So I'm going to walk you through some of the details here in a few minutes. But do you want your congressman to co-sponsor this thing? And do you want him to vote for it, even if it means shutting down government, even if the Democrats don't go along with it, and it doesn't pass the Senate, or President Obama vetoes it, and we have no spending authorization? The government shuts down on October 1. Are you for that? If that would be the risk, if that's the consequence of shutting down Obamacare, 888-589-8840. Now, a couple of updates. Let's start with this, and I'm going to bring Jeff Reed, my producer, in to kind of help me walk through this. Eddie, who's a member of our staff here at AFA, gave a devotional this morning, and he ran through a list of products, household products and other kinds of goods that people buy every day that are advertised all the time on TV. Now, as you know, what these products do, they try to come up, and their marketers try to do, is come up with some kind of catchy slogan that'll stick in your head, give you nice, soft, warm feelings about their product, and incline you to go out and buy their product. And it was interesting. What Eddie did is he walked us through all of these different products and their slogans, and kind of showed how they shed some window of insight into God and his character. It's kind of actually kind of an intriguing little exercise. But I'm going to walk through it. Jeff, let's just you and I take turns going through some of these products and the slogan that goes with them and how they reveal something about God's character. For instance, God is like Bayer aspirin. He works wonders.
God is like a leaf. He's strong. He is all day strong, all day long.
That's leaf is what I use, by the way, when I play golf, because I still got this little bit of a problem, little tweakage in my hip, so I use the leaf. And it works. I can play around the golf without a twinge. So God's like a leaf, all day strong, all day long. God is like Ford. He's got a better idea.
God is like Coke. He's the real thing.
God is like Hallmark cards. He cared enough to send his very best.
God is like Tide. He gets the stains out that others leave behind.
Now, that's a good one.
Yeah, that
is a good one. Gets the stains out that others leave behind. God is like General Electric. He brings good things to life.
God is like Sears. He has everything.
God is like Alka-Seltzer. Try him, you'll like him. Oh, what a relief he is.
God is like Scotch tape. You can't see him, but you know he's there.
God is like Delta. He's ready when you are.
God is like Allstate. You're in good hands with him.
God is like VO5 hairspray. He holds through all kinds of weather.
God is like dial soap. Aren't you glad you know him? Don't you wish everybody did?
God is like American Express. Don't leave home without him.
God is like the U.S. Postal Service. Neither rain nor snow nor sleet. I don't know about that one.
Nor, read the next line.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah, the second line of that. Neither rain nor slow. Now you got me doing it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see it now. Neither rain nor snow nor sleet nor ice will keep him from his appointed destination. Okay, now that got a whole lot better.
Yeah, now it starts to make sense. Yeah. That actually came from the ancient world. Postal carriers back, I don't know, in the Persian Empire or something. That was a slogan for them. Neither rain nor snow nor sleet nor ice will keep them from their appointed routes. God is like Chevrolet. He is the heartbeat of America.
God is like Bounty. He's the quicker picker-upper. He can handle tough jobs, and he won't fall apart on you.
And God is like Maxwell House. He is good to the last drop. Jeff, I'll save the last one for you. Satan.
He's like 7-Up. He's never had it and never will.
And he never will. All right, that's kind of a cute little thing. You know, it's interesting to me. We were talking about in our production meeting this morning just briefly. You know, it's like every one of those slogans reveals a little piece about God, a little window of insight into what God is like. And, of course, all these are very positive. There's a product here that'll meet some need in your life. It'll respond to some desire or some need that you have. And it's interesting to me that you have to put all of these together, all of these products that are designed to meet our needs. You got to put all of these slogans together to get anywhere close to a comprehensive picture of what God is like. Now, Jeff, I want to have you give us an update. You brought us a story last week, this tragic story of an attempted assassination on the mayor of a city in Alaska. So remind us of what happened and then give us the update.
Yeah, Mayor Stubbs was in the hospital, was brutally attacked, and was there was a lot of people concerned about Mayor Stubbs. Actually, Mayor Stubbs is a cat.
And he's a mayor. He's actually elected mayor of this town in Alaska.
Yeah, it's a small town in Alaska. They've never had an official mayor, so they just went ahead. He was one of the friendliest guys in the whole town anyway.
So Stubbs was the honorary mayor.
Yeah, and Stubbs has gotten a lot of international support, and they're collecting donations for him. Their well-wish cards are coming as far away as London and New Zealand, all over the place. They're just really getting behind Stubbs. Actually, there's a big push right now that people want him to heal up quickly because they want him to run for president.
Ah, I see. Well, be hard to argue that he wouldn't do better than the one we've got, frankly.
Yeah, elections do have consequences, and this one, it'd be nice to have a president in there with 9 lives.
Yeah. All right, and you have, and so he's on the mend.
Yeah, he's actually got the tube out of his lung.
All right,
his lung, they were afraid that was going to collapse, and they're bringing him home. He has to stay in a cage for a little while just so he won't hurt himself.
Putting the president in a cage.
Yeah, well, it's for his own good.
Interesting idea, for his own good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now you also were talking to me this morning about, on 9/11 they had this million Muslim march it was supposed to be. They wound up having a couple of hundred of them at the most. And yet all these bikers, it was great. You had bikers as far as the eye could see riding their bikes through Washington, D.C. in response to this meager little tiny protest. But there was a part of this protest that I wasn't aware of until you brought it to my attention.
Yeah, well, actually, I did a little more checking into this story, and it turns out it was actually in May. But it was in Pennsylvania. So, I was looking up articles on maybe people that were having problems or incidents that may have happened with that many bikers, and I came across this story, and apparently some animal rights activists thought it was probably a good idea to go protest this bike rally as they were coming through town, protesting the fact that they use a lot of leather in their clothing and bicycle seats. I'll give you a guess how that might have turned out, but apparently they showed up in a late model 60 Volkswagen van, and started throwing balloons filled with red dyed water to symbolize blood, and started throwing it at the bikers and yelling, calling them murderers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a little later on in the day, the police were called because they could not find 3 of the protesters.
And?
Well, one of them, you can see the picture on the monitor there. We'll put that up on Facebook. That's one of them. And this guy actually is quoted in the paper as saying that, what did he say? They grabbed me. They said I looked like I was French and started calling me names. They duct taped me to the tree, and I stayed there all day long.
He was sitting there duct taped to the tree when the cops found him.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And then the other 2 they found later on that day. Apparently, some of the bikers thought it was a good idea to take them in for a meal. So they took them into a fast food restaurant and made them eat some hamburgers, then duct taped them to the dumpsters out back of the fast food restaurant.
Well,
and they were discovered as the workers took the trash out that night. So they were all safe.
So that's a PETA protest that kind of backfired on the protesters.
Yeah, you know what? The police asked the organizer of the thing, and the bikers, and his response was hilarious. He was just kind of saying that it's crazy that they would even complain about this. We were having a party, and some people were rude to us, and instead of invoking any violence, we just invited them to the party. I don't know what they're complaining about.
What's their problem here?
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. You know, and be interested to see if any of those people in that PETA protest were wearing any kind of leather goods. You know, I saw this. Maybe you've seen these pictures of these protests when they're protesting petroleum industry.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's raining out there. I've seen one picture, and what the photographer did is went through and he labeled all of the things that they were using, whether it was raincoats or whether it was umbrellas or whether it was the chairs that they were sitting in or the signs that they were holding that were made out of vinyl. Virtually everything they had in their protest against oil was made from a petroleum product. They couldn't even protest oil without using oil.
I think after this one they're going to go back to throwing red paint on old ladies' clothes or fur coats.
Focal Point back in 2. Stay with us.